Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 6 of the command block series. In today's video I'm going to be telling you about the execute command. I know the last video wasn't really a tutorial, it was more practice, but it really does help because it just ensures that you guys are keeping up with me. So let's get into the video. So I'm back at my lab. I'm probably going to do the remaining videos of the command block tutorial series in my lab. Hello, George.
Oh, hi.
Thank you. Hi, text-to-speech. Okay, so I'm heading to testing room E today. That's B, D. What is he doing in there? Oh my god. Okay, testing room E. Okay, so I'm going to go over a specific command in today's video, and that is the execute command. Now, I know you guys know the command components, but I'm going to teach you the very important commands, and /execute is one of those important commands. And a lot of you probably won't wrap your head around it without a little help. Now, it's very hard to explain what it does, so if you guys still don't understand it after this video, I recommend just going on the wiki. I'll put a link in the description to a wiki page all about the /execute command. So what is /execute and what is it used for? Well, it is used to execute at somebody else. So if we have a command block here, I'm gonna do a good example here, and we get a armor stand. Let me go into full mode. Armor stand. Where is it? Right here. And I wanted this armor stand specifically to execute a command. Now, in this command block, if I did set block up 1 to stone, and then I grab myself a button like so, and press this, bam, it sets the block above it to stone. Now, let's say I wanted it to execute at the armor stand instead of executing it at the command block. Now, that's where the /execute command comes in. So basically, you gotta think of it this way. Everybody has their own chat. Just pretend that entities have their own chat. We have a chat, we can type in a command. Let's do effect. Bam. I can do the /effect command. But what if I wanted to use someone else's chat to my advantage? So pretend this armor stand has his own chat, and I wanted to use his chat and type something in his chat and execute it to him. So you got to put yourself in the armor stand's shoes. So if I go ahead and do the /execute command, /execute, well, we don't need the slash because we're in a command block. So we're going to execute at E, armor _ stand. Oh, sorry. We need type, because that is a type. And within the radius of 2. So that's our execute command. Now you might wonder why there's 3 tildes. I always recommend just adding 3 tildes. Don't even worry about adding more, because what that does is it executes adjacent to the entity. So that's just saying if you want to execute it a little offset from the entity. It's pretty big. It allows you to do a lot of things. So I could do like 1 that's offset by 1 block, so that's up. So basically, instead of executing exactly where the armor stand is, it will execute 1 block up on the armor stand. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to use 3 tildes because we want to execute it exactly where the armor stand is. As much as we're going to set the block above the armor stand to stone, we're going to use the set block for that. Anyway, so we have our execute, and what that does is we're executing at the armor stand. Now, think of it if you were typing in the armor stand's chat. It's very confusing to say, but now forget all of this execute command and just think, okay, now I'm in the armor stand's shoes. What am I going to do to set a block above me? Well, set block, and I know I'm 2 blocks high because an armor stand's 2 blocks high. So 2 blocks above me to stone. And then if we execute that, you'll notice it actually works. So that's the execute command, and it's very simple to understand, but there's still more we can do. Now, when we have the execute command, if we go ahead and type /execute at s something, some random position, you can now see that there is a new command that is not usable at all without the execute command. It's the detect command. Now, the detect command is like a test for block command. It basically will only run the command after it if the block that you're searching for is correct. So here, let me put that easier on your brain. Execute at P, so it's executing the nearest player, which would be me, at my position, and then we're going to use the detect command, which is going to be a new command. Detect, and then we need a position. Let's do detect down 1 block, and then the block you want to detect. So it's as simple as that. So iron underscore block. And it might seem simple now, but we need we need a block data. We can just do 0 for no block data. And if we go ahead and do a command like say standing on iron. So now we can go ahead and set this to a repeat, always active command. And then if I grab myself some iron and place it on the floor, as you can see, it will tell us when I'm standing on iron. It's very useful, that detect command. So it only will execute the command if the detect is true. So it's very, very useful. I hope you guys can understand that one. That one's pretty simple to understand. It's just included with it. Because if you use the test for block command, you'd have to use 2 command blocks. And one of them would have to be conditional. And it wouldn't work too well for when you have multiple players. But you can use this for many things. That detect command will come in hand a lot. Now, I have a new portion of the laboratory I want to show you having to do with the execute command. Okay, let's head on over to the portion of the lab that has to do with the execute command. So if we head over past George, we have command block creations. I made this little place that will tell us more about command blocks. So this is 5 ways that you can use the execute command to your advantage. Well, number 1, we can use it in a trail. So this command's pretty simple. So we're going to execute at the nearest player at their position. We're going to play a particle. This is just a particle. If you want to copy that, you're going to have to look up a particle list. I'll leave another link in the description of a particle list you can use if you ever want to mess around with particles. And then the position. So if I go ahead and execute that, as you can see, I have a little flame particle. You can use it for trails. You can move around. You can make it move around if you want it to be 2 blocks above you, and now you have a little flamey head. You know, you can mess around with the positioning and stuff. You can have multiple of these command blocks running and have multiple little flame particles around you. Yeah, it's very useful. So let's get into the next one. Next one, you're probably not even going to think it's useful in any way, but an armor stand randomizer. This really comes in hand. Now, I have 3 little command blocks that say 3 different dialogues, and I'm using this to indicate somebody saying, hey, come here, you, come here, or get over here. So I did 3 different types of dialogue. Now you can use this in a story map on a timer where it will test, or if it's been too long, he'll say, come over here, you know? So in this command block, we're executing at a random player type equaling to armor stand. Now I know that's a little weird. Random player, but type equals armor stand. So the @r can be a different type if you specify the type. So if I wanted it to execute at random armor stand, then I just specify execute at a random armor stand. Type equals armor stand. And then name equals random. And all 3 of these are, their names are equal to random. So we're going to execute at one of those 3 armor stands, basically. And we're going to set the block 2 blocks below them to redstone. So below all of them, they have the same command. This basically will run once it's given redstone. The reason why it's on repeat is because Minecraft has a little glitch sometimes where it doesn't activate the impulse. No clue why. So it will basically set the block above it to air, and that's on all of them, as you can see. And if we go ahead and press this, it will play one of the 3 random dialogues. Come on. Well, again. Okay, come on. There we go. There. Okay. So that's how you can use it. You can use it for many other things. I'm just showing dialogue, but you can definitely use this in a lot of things. You can use it in crate systems, like random crate systems. You can use it in randomly generated mazes. Yeah, you'll see this in a lot of command block creations. Maybe not in this format. You don't have to put it in this format, but I do this format. But yeah, you'll see this in a lot of command block creation maps. Like, you'll see it in the command blocks of maps sometimes. So let's get into the next one. So the next one's very simple. It's def blocks. Now this might pique some interests in the comments section of parkour maps. Yes, this can be used in parkour maps. So I'm going to go ahead and set myself to game mode S and set my spawn point. And if I die, bam. If I touch the red, I die, as you can see. So if I go ahead and go back into creative, and I read through this command, basically it's going to use the detect command, and that's why I say it's so important, is because it's going to execute at all the players in the game, and it's going to detect whether or not there is red wool. Yeah, the data value for red wool is 14. So it's going to detect whether or not there's red wool below him. As you can see, -1 blocks. Now you can make this more specific. So if you wanted to do like -0.05 blocks, that can be a thing. So if I go ahead and actually go into survival mode, set my spawn point again, just in case. As you can see, it's a lot more specific, and you can actually like jump over it now, and it actually works. So if you want to make it more specific, you can. And then basically, if it detects it, it will kill at S. Now the reason why it says kill at S is because we're executing at all players, and if it detects the red wool, it will kill it, kill whoever it's executing at, which is themselves. So it's basically me executing the command in my chat. Remember that. The next command block creation you can make is a particle spinner. This is just a little fun. If you want to make him invisible, you can. Inside this command block, we're spinning the armor stand using the execute command. So we're executing at E, type equaling to armor stand within a radius of 2, which is this armor stand. And we're going to teleport him, which is at S, because you can use at S when executing the command in his chat. Remember, you're pretend like this isn't here, you're executing at that armor stand and pretend you're typing in his chat. So basically he's teleporting. Okay, so I'm gonna TP myself to my own position and 8. So 8, relative 8 is actually, if you open the TP command, TP at S, just this, you have Y rot, which is Y rotation, and you can give it a value, and you can do it relative to your Y rotation, and you can do X rotation too. So I'm using the Y rotation, and then if I go ahead and activate this, it will spin him, and a particle goes around. And the way we're doing the particle, if we open this command block, we're executing at the armor stand, of course, up 1. This is where we're executing using the execute command, because if we do it down, his eyes will be at his feet. You'll see. So particle, blue flame particle, we're just executing a particle wherever he is looking. These are directional, and that's wherever he is looking. So it's a little confusing, this one, so if you don't understand it completely, I understand it's very confusing when it comes down. The reason why I did it this way is because I made it more confusing as we go on. The next one's the last one. Anyway, so we're executing 1 up because your eyes are basically at your feet in this game, and the way you can make your eyes higher up is by executing 1 block up, as you can see. So that's an easy way of fixing the eye issue, and let's go ahead and turn them off. Now, I know this is gonna be really, really fun. If you guys want to copy these commands, but you can use it for wall running, and this is one of my favorite creations. I'll use it in parkour maps all the time, because we don't have slime block or honey blocks that can slide us across. We can use this as our own little wall run. So we have 4 command blocks here: R and R and L and L. So this basically, L means left, R means right. So they're the same thing, but just one's for right and one's for left, because when you're wall running, you need one for the right side and one for the left side. So if we open this, we have execute at all players at their position, detect to the side, so whatever direction they're facing, it will be to the side, so negative 0.75 to the side. The reason why I'm being so specific about it is because you don't want it 1 block, because they could stand in the middle of a block and it still detects them. Iron block, 0. So if you don't understand this one, I can understand. But if you want to copy it, you can, and it's very fun to mess around with. So we're going to execute at all the players, detect iron block, an iron block to the side. So basically we have side to side as the first directional positioning, up and down, sorry, not up and up, as the second directional positioning, and the third directional positioning is front and back. So we're using the side to side to test whether or not there is an iron block to the side, negative 0.75 blocks away. So we're just doing a data value of 0, and then we're going to affect that player with slow falling, 1, the duration, and the power, true. So it doesn't matter what the duration and power is, I just set it to 1. And we do the same thing, you can copy the same command, but we're going to also give them speed. So now if we go up to this wall, it should give us slow falling and speed, as you can see. Now if we do that, we need one for the left, so just copy these 2 commands, and I placed it in here and changed it from negative 0.75 to just 0.75 for the left side of the player. So now if I look at this direction, bam. So iron blocks are our wall running, blocks. So if I go ahead and attempt to wall run, oh wow, I did it, okay. And there you go. So this is a 5 block gap, which wouldn't be possible in parkour, and that's why I love this so much, is because you can use it in so many maps. And I'm not too good at it, and I mean, it does take some skill. And you can't look dead on, because that's not how wall running is. You can't wall run this way. Well, I just did a little bit, but that's because I looked from side to side. But if you touch it with your side, then it will detect it. It's about that far, and then, yeah. So that's how you can make wall running. I really love it. It's one of my favorite things. If you want to use it in parkour maps, it's very well made. I've seen some wall running tutorials, and I know this isn't meant to be like one of these tutorials, but I just wanted to show you how good the execute command is. And there's still more. I'm just cutting it off now because I'd have thousands of creations with this execute command. Trust me, this execute command is one of the biggest commands, and it will take some time to get used to. So don't worry if you didn't get the hang of it at first, but that's okay. That's all for this video. If you guys liked it, hit that like button, and I hope this helped with the execute command. Next video, I'm hoping to teach you more about the fill command and just 2 different types of positioning, and you're gonna learn three-dimensional graphs. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.